Welcome. We're diving into something really unique today. We're conducting what we call a forensic deep scan, looking at a set of personal dream logs from one specific week in March 2026. What these logs map out is just a critical phase in a soul's journey, a transit from a past that was all about serving others to a future that's demanding total personal sovereignty.
So the archive's been unsealed, and that's where our work really begins. We're approaching these records from the perspective of a cosmic observer, decoding the symbolic language of the subconscious into a clear, almost mythic story. We're not just looking at what happened in the dreams. We are mapping the energetic signature of a transformation as it's happening.
So, first things first, we need to understand the atmosphere of this whole period. What were the dominant frequencies, the big recurring themes that kept showing up in the dreams? Think of this as us decoding the key ideas that really define this entire week's journey for the dreamer.
And wow, the data is just incredibly clear. What's really interesting here is the hierarchy. The lead energy, the main driver, is sovereign, that deep need for self-rule. Right behind it, you have architect, the will to build brand new systems. And just look at those ancillary terms: abundance, transition, automation, flow. These are the goals, right? The things that are pushing this quest for sovereignty. This whole structure really sets the stage for the week's central conflict.
Okay, now let's get into the main struggle. Every transit faces some kind of resistance, right? In these logs, we see what we're calling the old gravity. It's this powerful pull from past roles, old habits, and legacy ways of thinking that are constantly trying to short-circuit any real forward momentum. In this slide just brilliantly illustrates the two forces at war. Over on the left, you've got these echoes of the old world. Riding a school bus as a passenger, dealing with friction in the family, even watching parental figures direct traffic. All of these are symbols of being controlled by outside forces. But then on the right, the pulse of the future is just undeniable. Building new creations, putting automated systems in place, and inspecting a new, self-determined home. And right here, this is the crucial turning point. The logs captured this exact phrase. It's a definitive moment where the dreamer forges what we're calling the sovereign voice. And listen, this isn't just a statement, it's a huge psychological shift that completely severs the ties with that old professional identity. It's a real point of no return. So during this transit, certain moments and even locations act as these critical pivot points. We see them as thresholds that can either become a portal to a totally new reality, or they can become what we call liminal traps, where all progress just grinds to a halt. The data shows us both.
Here we have a perfect example of a portal. The dreamer gets involved in this global research on electromagnetic fields. This one act shifts their focus from local, physical labor, like driving a bus, to analyzing these invisible global systems. It's a massive expansion of perspective and a true leap into that architect identity we talked about.
But then, we see a trap. The dreamer is literally stuck in a bicycle shed. Can't even get their own bike out because it's blocked by everyone else's. I mean, what an incredible metaphor, right? This just perfectly illustrates how collective baggage, the sheer weight of other people's journeys, can physically stall your own progress if you're still stuck operating in a shared old-world system.
All right, now let's track a really fascinating theme that starts to emerge, the shift from manual effort to automated systems. This is the core indicator that a transition is happening, from a laborer who has to grind it out to an architect who designs for flow. The old way of doing things is captured perfectly by this image from the logs. The dreamer, riding a bicycle up a steep hill. It's all just strenuous, individual effort. It's a fight against gravity, a constant grind just to get where you're going.
And now contrast that with the new paradigm, building valuable items, these little year-stamped figurines, that get delivered through an automated vending machine. Here, value is created and then distributed by a system. It doesn't require any continued manual presence. The work is all in the design, not the delivery.
This data visualization just makes the difference crystal clear. The bicycle model takes a massive amount of effort for a tiny output, but the vending machine model, minimal effort for maximum, scalable output. This is the economic and energetic prize that the dreamer is moving towards.
So, after mapping the atmosphere, the conflict, and the tools, we finally arrive at the verdict. Was this whole transit successful? Did the dreamer actually secure a new state of sovereignty?
This is really the ultimate question for the week, isn't it? After all the struggle and all the innovation, have they actually passed through the gates to this new paradigm? Or is the dreamer still caught in between, kind of stuck on the ramp leading out of the old world?
The evidence confirms that some really significant assets were secured. We've identified 3 treasures. First, the sovereign voice, that absolute powerful refusal to go back. Second, a new form of currency, the ability to create value that's delivered through automated systems. And third, a completely new toolset, the ability to create multimedia and map global energy, building a real infrastructure for future influence.
And yet, the logs end on this incredibly provocative cliffhanger. Despite securing the tools and finding the voice, a formal petition for extraction, a conscious plea to fully leave the old reality has been sent out, and it remains unanswered. It's like the dreamer has built the machine, but the final leap has not yet been granted.
This story, this transit, it's very much ongoing. Our forensic mapping of this collective dreamscape continues, and you're invited to stay aligned with these cycles as they unfold.
If this week's mapping of the collective dreamscape resonates with your own story, or you are interested in seeing more, leave a comment below with your most vivid anchor from the week. To stay aligned with the upcoming cycles, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We continue the story next week on the next moon cycle.